Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? How you doing? Welcome to Jarrett Talks interviews. As I interview people who have YouTube channels, a YouTube channel, or a business. Tonight, I have someone who's a very close friend of my church. She a very good friend of mine, and everybody else. She actually overseas right now, and the time difference is pretty much different from us. So I want everybody to come in. Show some love to my friend Jasmyn Allen. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So tell the people about you and about your business.
Okay. Thank you first and foremost, Jarrett, for inviting me to be part of your show. I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing, and I just want to encourage you to keep going. And like you said, yes, I am here in the UK, so it's going on 11 p.m. in the evening, so a little bit of a time difference. So for me, basically, so my business, I do wear multiple hats actually. So I'm a trained marketeer, so I'm trained in marketing and advertising. So I have a company called Create Buzz, and what I do is some marketing work for like churches and for charities and so forth. So this is kind of like my side gig that I do to kind of continue to tap into that creative space. And I also have a greeting card company called Sava as well.
When you first started this business, were you nervous doing it?
I think it's the natural part of just doing the do when you do what you love, they always say you never work a day in your life. So the actual doing, creating graphics, or supporting someone to kind of bring their creative idea to life, that part of it was essentially quite natural to do, just jumping straight in. But the fact of actually running the business side of it, I think that's the part where you're kind of like, okay, you've got to sit down and make sure that you manage your books, you do invoices, and and all the other file taxes and all that lovely stuff. So that's the part that you get a little bit nervous, because especially when you're doing something where you've got to educate yourself, or go and get mentored on making sure that you're setting things up to do things the right way as well.
Do you how long you been doing it?
So I have been doing this for, let's see, I'll probably say about 10 years on and off. So for the fact that I try not to advertise too much, because I do work full time as well, and my job's quite demanding. So I've been doing it on and off for quite some time. And just kind of, there's a couple clients that I work with on a consistent basis. So I try and just kind of keep those clients, and then I'll add a few in here and there. But yeah.
Are you currently working right now, or are you currently working at the job right now, or are you doing
Yeah.
something else?
Yes, so I work full time. So I globally manage culture, engagement, and inclusion for finance organizations. So we've got people that are based like in the US, people are based in Asia, Africa, and the UK, and so forth. So it does keep me quite busy and quite stretched in that particular sense. So it doesn't tap into the creative side a whole lot. So that's why I do like designing things every now and then to keep my creative juices flowing.
So when you came to let me see, what year did you come to FCC to come to visit?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I'm wondering, it's either 2017 or 2018 was my first year. I think it was like going through social media, and that's when I learned about Young Leaders Conference and
Mm-hmm.
learned about the church and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was coming to Atlanta anyway, so I was just like, oh, let me come and check this all out. And yeah, I've been part of the FCC now, Spirit and Truth family, ever since then. So yes.
What was your first what was your first impression of our church at FCC
um,
slash Spirit Truth?
it basically, I just fit right in, and I always joke about it because it's like, the whole church is like second family in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. So when I got there, it was just like everyone, I felt like I knew everyone for quite some time. We just all gelled very well together. So, and everyone was so warm and welcoming. So yes, it's like my home away from home, really. So yes.
Matter of fact, are you coming back anytime soon? Next time you come visit?
I'm probably sometime next year.
Okay.
So yeah, so
I'll count on that. I'll count on that.
yeah.
I'll count on
after
that.
this, after the summer, after it's too hot. I don't like it too hot. So
But what's the hardest what's the hardest do you have the hardest job of at where you working at now?
so I repeat that
Do
question
you have
again.
do you have a hard do you have a hard job, or the job that you're working at now is it hard or simple, very simple?
It is. It keeps me on my toes. And I would say basically because just from the way that we're structured. So I don't have a team that reports into me. So I deal a lot with the strategy in a sense. So it's a lot of studying, a lot of reading, and then I've got people like early mornings. I've got calls with people in Asia, and late nights I've got calls with people in the US. So
Wow.
my days can get very crazy on both sides. So one of the challenges is that it could be a bit mentally exhausting. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure that I manage myself. So one of the things that I do basically, so I've got very strict rules. I don't do meetings on a Friday at all because that's my day to
Mm-hmm.
literally get myself rebalanced and everything else. And I always try and I have a very rigid diary. So if I'm going to work on something, I put it in my diary to kind of make sure I manage my time that way. But I enjoy it. It's very fulfilling. And I'm learning a lot as well about different cultures. So absolutely amazing.
What the what the best what the best thing of what the pros and the cons of at where you working? Where you, what at your job? What the pros and the cons at what you do?
Did you say what's the pros and cons of what I do?
Yes, ma'am.
So one of the pros is that our company is extremely flexible. So, where a lot of companies are saying you have to come into an office to work. Our company, I have a home working contract, for example. So if I don't have to leave my house if I don't want to. So that's a big pro for me. And then I think for the cons for it is in my role, I'm really used to being very hands-on and being kind of in an office, gelling with people and so forth. Because my role is about making people understanding why people stay with an organization and making sure that we've got the right culture that they feel rewarded, that they feel that the company is taking good care of them. They want to stay with the company for a long time. So I'm very much used to being hands-on and getting involved in things, and this is very a hands-off job. So that's a challenge in a sense because I'm used to seeing people in action and observing them, but a lot of this I'm having to do remotely and trying to fill in the blanks. So that makes it a little bit harder for me.
So for the past 10 years, you love working, you love what you do for the past 10 years.
I do. I absolutely do. And like I said, like I wear a lot of many different hats, and whatever I do, I always try and see, well, how can I bring it back into the church? How can I help the church grow? What I've learned in the corporate space, what can I do to help support the church? So every year I host a conference called Step Out in Leadership, stands for
Mhm.
Soil, and it really is in essence helping visionaries pursue their dreams. A lot of people, I would hear them say, oh, I want to do this, I'm gonna write a book, or I'm gonna get my music out there, or they always have these dreams about things they're gonna do, but they never actually do it. So what soil really does is help them to get started. Like, life is short, and tomorrow is not promised. So, and there are people out there waiting for us to actually start doing some of these amazing things. So I do that in January. And then the other one I do is called Church Comms Conference. And that's teaching administrators, pastors, and those PR people in churches how to have the best communication channels to reach people in and outside of the church. So yeah, so that those are the two things I try and give back in a sense to share the things I've learned.
Man, that's a lot of head. You'll get a break.
Sorry,
You,
I
you
stay
ever get a
busy.
break? I said, do you ever get a break?
I know, I know, I know. That's what everyone says. Like you must have more than 24 hours in a day. But yeah, I try and stay a bit disciplined with my time, but I do stay quite busy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's,
but I enjoy it.
yeah,
I enjoy it.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What kind of advice you want to give to people who want to do church work kind of job you do? What kind of advice you want to give to the young people, to the very young people that want to start up?
So I would say follow your passion, but be willing to try new things. So sometimes we think we know what's best for us. Sometimes we think we know the path that we want to go. And it takes someone who might be observing us and see, you've got a gift in an area, you're quite talented doing something, and listen to those voices. I got on my pathway by listening to a voice. One of my lecturers said to me, Jazz, I think you should try something, try this path. And I did it. When I got into the workplace many, many years ago, it was a boss that said to me, we want to start a department. Can you come and work in that and do that? And first I kind of turned my nose up, like, I don't want to do that, because I had plans. I had a vision for myself, but listening to those voices was the best decision ever, because it just opened up things that I didn't know that I had gifts in. So I would say definitely follow what you think you'd like to do, but also listen to the advice of those trusted voices around you and willing to explore as well. Because there are many things inside of us that we probably don't even know that we're super good at. So yeah.
Yo, my next question: Who start? Who did anybody um talk to you about starting your own business or anything, or that you decide I want to do this or start it up?
I get that quite a lot from a lot of people. They would say, "Oh, you're really good at that. You know, you should start your business. You should do that." Or I hear quite a lot. People would say to me, "You know what? Leave your full time job and go work for yourself full time. You're so talented." So you do get people who will prompt you in that sense, but a lot of for me, everything that I'm doing now, it started with me actually saying, "Oh, I'd like to, get involved and do more of this," and just actually start doing it, and sticking with it. I think also that's the other advice I'll give to anyone is make sure you stay consistent. That's what my mentors are always saying to me. Don't give up. Just keep doing it, and that's it. Yeah.
Um, when they tell you to start your own business, were you like concerned? I mean, what well to say? If you, were you concerned if you starting your business? Did you
Was
were
that
you concerned?
Well, it's normally because you already start doing something, and it's literally how do you monetize what you do?
Mhm.
And especially I think, for me, I'm a person who always looks to help other people. So a lot of the advice that I get is around, you got to stop doing stuff for free and start charging people for stuff. So I get that a lot. And that's literally the kind of advice that would come my way. And like, oh, okay, you definitely got to go ahead and set up that business and start invoicing for, and stop doing these other little things like as projects and stuff like that. So yeah, but and that's one of the things, and I think it was Teresa who I actually heard say it really well, that everyone needs a mogul in their life, that person who helps them kind of make that money on what they do, especially when you're a really nice person and a giving person. You need that person who's like, nope, there's a fee with that. I'm going to send you an invoice, or there's a form to fill out for that, because you do need to make sure you've got those personalities around you, especially if you don't have that personality yourself. That's the other thing as well. But yeah.
Do you have a YouTube channel or anything? Which when you off work or anything? Do you have like a YouTube channel or social media anything?
Yeah, so I passively use my social media accounts. I'm on all the platforms just about, actually. Now to think of it. But I can tell you one thing. When I started out, every time you've got a business idea, you're doing something, the first thing you're like, okay, I've got to get my channel set up. So you go and set up a Facebook account, an Instagram account, so forth. And then you have all these accounts to manage with content. You've got your personal brand, plus you've got this other brand to manage, and it becomes a little bit exhausting. So what I have started doing is trying to make sure I scale back in and really kind of look at, where do I want my voice to be, and what kind of voice do I really want to be out there the most. But I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I've got actually two or three accounts on Instagram, on Twitter as well. I'm on YouTube, and there was that other chat one that came out. What was it again? I can't remember the name of it. I don't actually use it a lot. I'm on TikTok as well, and what was that other one? Clubhouse. That was the one, but I don't actually go into that one anymore. I don't know if
Okay.
people use
Let's, speaking of YouTube, what was your what was your what kind of thing do you do on YouTube on your channel?
So on YouTube, I use it mostly for prayer, actually.
Hmm.
So I host a prayer on Tuesdays, and I do it live through Facebook. And sometimes I'll patch it over onto YouTube. So that's kind of the things I put onto YouTube. I used to also use YouTube for our dance ministry as well for church, but I usually mostly use it now for prayer.
How, let's see that. Do you, how, when you first started your YouTube channel, what was your first, do you ever make video? Do you make videos on your YouTube channel or do you ever went live on your channel?
I didn't know. I haven't done any live. I've just uploaded on my YouTube channel. I haven't done any lives through it. I've done lives on Facebook, but not on YouTube itself. When we first started going live online, it was very nerve-wracking because you're just like, don't say anything stupid. Just don't say anything stupid. So so yeah, so so at first it was kind of like do it on Facebook because see on Facebook, everyone who's seeing your live, they're actually friends unless someone shares it, you make it public or whatever. YouTube is like going out into the sea and it's like anyone and everyone joins. So I am naturally just a little bit shy. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't
You
done
just
a
took the
live.
question. You just asked my question. What are you go live more on Facebook than on YouTube?
I go live more on Facebook. I do prayer every Tuesday on Facebook.
So when you do on live on Facebook,
Yeah.
you make a live on there and you post it on the YouTube, or you just keep it over there until you feel comfortable to put it on your channel.
So I post it. Sometimes I download it if I'm not being lazy. If I've got time, I'll download it from Facebook and drop it onto YouTube. But mostly I just keep it on Facebook. Yeah. Because that's every Tuesday we're on.
You
Yeah.
have you have a big following on Facebook.
On my Facebook feeds, I would probably, we've got some regulars, let's put it that way. When you say a big following, I don't think it's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But now you've got me going to go and check. I don't think it's a lot of people that actually think, but we get about maybe 300 plays on average. So 300, 400 plays. I'm just having a look at it.
So you got uh, uh,
500 plays. Yeah.
uh, so what kind of so how long do you go live on Facebook? Huh? What's like the longest live have you done on Facebook?
So every Tuesday I host prayer and it's an hour. So from 8 till 9 my time, which is from 3 till 4 your time. Every
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, I do a live prayer every Tuesday for an hour
So you said what time from 12 to what time?
from 3 p.m. Eastern time to 4 p.m.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. So you meet up before. Okay, okay. So
yeah.
how many how many people are be? Do you have any people watching your live that early in the morning?
So it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon for you. 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 4 p.m. So to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So we have probably, I would say on an average, we probably might have 20 who are there religiously on the live, and then a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people watch it on the replay. So yeah, so we have more people watching on the replay than on the actual live itself.
Do you make the your live into premieres so when people actually watch it later, so when people can't catch your live, you we record and put an actual video of it.
Repeat that one again. Sorry,
I
I
said
missed that.
after you make a live
Mhm.
for your prayers, the and the people that do not, I mean, the people who missed it, do you ever put the live, you turn the live to a video to make the people to catch it if they can't catch your live.
Yeah, so they can watch the replay of it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people tend to do that. Sometimes they'll comment as well on there, but like I said, for them, and I know some people do kind of, they've got it in their schedule, so they'll message me to say, for example, when we're finished, they'll watch it later in the afternoon when they get home from work or something, and that's part of their normal routine. So yeah, so they get the video as well.
That, and you do it more on Facebook. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
So when you do on Facebook, do you put the same video or you put the same live on YouTube where wherever we get a chance to put we get done with the video on the live on Facebook.
Yeah, I have put a few of them up, not all of them. And it just really depends on what we prayed about, and I've put some of them up onto YouTube. And the reason for that, basically, because I wanted to kind of stream also onto YouTube to get a wider audience. But years ago, I remembered I was watching this kind of Bible study. I was following this lady. I just stumbled on her. And she was an elderly lady, retired pastor, and she was doing these Bible studies on YouTube.
Mm,
And I was going through them and I was like, oh, these are really good, short little Bible study sessions. And as the videos were progressing, as you kept on going, I was going through them, you could see that over the years, she changed, her hair changed. She started having like those little spots and so forth on her skin, just showing that, she was aging more. And then one of the sessions, her assistant said, unfortunately, she had passed away. And, while it's a quite really sad story, at that particular moment, something really clicked on the inside of me, that the content that we're putting out onto social media is, whilst it's great for the here and now, it goes into this library that it can bless someone years down the road when we're no more. And that's what really encourages me to make sure that I keep kind of putting, that those positive content out there, because you just never know. So whether it's in Facebook or YouTube or whatever channel, that it's something that someone can come back and look at it years on, and they're like, that's the message I need for right now for what I'm going through. So yeah, so that's kind of why I'm really pro kind of social media messages like this, and things like what you're doing, because it will bless someone. And yeah, so
what when you were here, what message that neither pastor or bishop caught your caught your attention? What kind of sermon that caught your attention
hmm
that make you go around dancing all day long? All
well, now you put me on the spot. First and foremost, when you guys start dancing, I just can clap because I have practiced and practiced, and I cannot get this two-step, one-step, whatever it's called, step
right,
dance
right.
thing done. I just can't do it. My legs just do not cooperate at all. And it's so embarrassing. So I
Mm.
practice before I get to the church. And when I get to the church, I'm just like, just clap, and don't embarrass yourself.
Oh my goodness.
But
I'm like,
I think, to be honest, I'm just trying to think. It's quite a shame because it's the most recent messages that kind of play back in your mind more so than some of the historical stuff. But Pastor Moore actually preached a message, and where he talked about kind of who's going to hell because of you. And that was one of those whoa kind of, kind of messages, that really really kind of resonated. And I was just like, everyone actually needs to hear this sermon. Yeah, because it's sometimes we do things and we don't realize the ripple effects of the things that we do, in the gravity of that ripple effect. And I really thought that was a really profound sermon, actually.
Do you ever watch the church online when you're not in the in church?
Yes. So I do try and catch the services online. Sometimes I have to catch it by replay because of the timings. But I do catch the Atlanta campus service sometimes, or I do the late night one that it's late night for me when they're at the Marietta campus.
The forecast
Yeah.
service. The forecast service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um. How, by the way, how was the trip going from UK to Atlanta? How long the trip back and forth?
It,
You
it's a
like
whole work. It's a whole working day. It's 8 hours. It's a whole working day.
mm, mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
And that's if you get a direct flight. That's if you get a direct flight. So, yeah.
But with the what, you ever get any? I'll say I'm not putting you on the spot, but do you ever get any negative comments or anything where you do where you at
Yeah.
work or online or anything? Do you ever get like negative comments sometimes?
Yeah. You get them all the time. I don't really get that many negative comments in the workplace as such. I'm just thinking. And I think because of the nature of what I do,
Mm,
because because of the nature of what I do, I think people try and I think people try and be on best behavior, I would
mm,
say, when they interact with me in the workplace, for the simple fact that I do kind of manage the employee pulse, and also I do a lot of projections of where I think things might go within teams and so forth. I work in an HR function, so I don't normally get those kind of issues, so to speak. Um, but I think from just in a social media aspect, when people say all sorts of different things, and I just delete them. Actually, I love that delete button. I love the power of actually clicking that button, deleting and blocking people. So I exercise that right 110%. So if someone leaves a comment, especially when I do adverts, when I run adverts for things, you get the adverts will hit anyone. People will troll those things sometimes, and I just go in and delete it. I just delete it. I block them. I report them if I have to, if they are a bit, a little bit too much, and I just move on. So yeah. And if people are on my page, I did have someone the other day. I had someone who's an atheist, actually, and every time I post something about church, the person always has something to say, and I was just like, you know what, delete and block, and then I just went and had a cup of tea and moved on. Yep. What about you? I
does,
know this.
does, does your job get you frustrated sometimes? Are you like I want to get a break. Do you ever get frustrated working?
Sometimes I do, yeah. The frustration mostly comes from I don't like dealing with red tape. And by that, what I mean is you just have to go through so many different hoops to get something done. So sometimes I do get frustrated in that sense. Um, or, having being delayed, you want to get something done and it takes forever to get something simple done. So sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating, but I try and balance that by just saying to myself, just breathe and just move on, do something else. So yeah. But
you
it's
know
not
what?
easy always. So yeah.
Yeah, when you ask me about me being frustrated, yes, I get frustrated. Sometimes when I do get when I get on YouTube, yes, I get frustrated sometimes with the line don't go well, and it going to cut off in the middle of my life or sometimes. Yes, I get frustrated, but I need to tell myself, I need to tell myself, don't get frustrated. Don't let the lie get you. See, I work
That's
in
it.
three. Look, I have three channels. So yeah, like I said, I tell people that if you just support me, I'm here every day, and I'm just make sure that everything's good. Cause when I'm interviewing people, I just make sure my guest, is comfortable if they want to come up on my channel. And if not, I understand they can come up here and just turn off the camera and talk
Hmm.
behind the your avatar. You know, if you're not comfortable doing that, that's fine. I take that. But yeah, I get frustrated. Not all the time, but I just when I finally get frustrated, yeah, I'm just breathe and then take don't get don't get first don't let that get to me. So that's what I
Exactly.
do. Even when I get up in the morning, I look at something in the mirror and say, "We're gonna have a good day. We're gonna have a good day. We're gonna have a good life." That's it. So,
That's it.
but
And
yeah,
that's always, sorry, go ahead.
what the do you ever since you love your job so much
And it
um
says so much now. It pays the bills. I don't. I appreciate my job. We're fine. Go ahead.
go right ahead.
No, 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 no,
What,
go ahead. Just joking. Go ahead.
where you hey, that's my train of thought. Oh, well, you love do you like traveling? I mean, that's pretty well. Do you like traveling besides going from church to church? Do you like traveling after a long work week or a busy week? Do you ever like traveling somewhere
Mhm.
that I want to calm down and you know what I'm saying?
That's a really good question. Before I answer, I just want to give a shout out to Erica Britt. I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening today. Sorry, I couldn't see the comments before, but I do see your comments there. So to be honest, Jarrett, I am a homebody. That's the thing that a lot of people don't know about me. Like, I am such a homebody. Pete,
Mm-hmm.
my schedule is so demanding, and a lot of people would always say, "Oh, Jasmyn's always traveling. She is she in the country?" A lot of people would think right now, probably they're like, "She's probably in the U.S. somewhere. We haven't seen her in a long time." I am such a homebody. I'm literally, my family jokes about it all the time. As far as traveling is concerned, I travel if I need to. So, I'm a huge, I'm not embarrassed to say actually, I'm a huge germaphobe. So I hate hotels with a passion. um, and literally, and I hate coughing and sneezy people. Not hate, I dislike. Hate is a very strong word, isn't it? Coughing and sneezy people who don't know how to wear a mask and sanitize their hands. So I don't travel a whole lot unless I absolutely have to. Some people like to go on exploring and all that other stuff. I work very hard, so I enjoy my house and the things I pay for. And I can be inside for a whole week. My neighbors are probably like, "Is she gone somewhere? We don't hear her, we don't see her." That's just me. I am a homebody. That's the reality of it. I get teased about it all the time, but I'm comfortable in that space.
So, in other words, you don't like crowds. That what you're saying. You don't like
I
crowd.
am not
Period.
No, I am not a huge crowd person. No. So like for example, like if someone's like, "Oh, let's go to a concert," I will go to a concert, but I'm not a huge crowd person.
Hmm.
I'm an introvert naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need to go, like I said, if I'm traveling, going abroad or something, um, that's nice. I'll go and see the sights and have a good time and so forth. But I'm not a huge, big crowd person. I'm not an extrovert person. I'm not like a social butterfly. I'm very reserved and very quiet. My job requires me to be outward spoken, but I'm very reserved and very quiet.
Say if your business wants you to travel from uh, say another country or the state, will you go for it?
I
Just
will
make
do it.
you
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah. I used to
Okay.
travel quite a lot for work. And I'll do that. I'll jump on a plane and go where I need to go, do what I need to do and so forth. But essentially, if you ask, like if you ask people what's your preference, I am very much a homebody kind of person.
So when you're at home, you just peace and quiet at home. You just
Exactly.
so
When
the
people are
only
locked
time
in
when
from,
you so basically the only time you leave the house is near playing church or if you're
yeah,
on your or your computer or when you
grocery
come to
store.
Atlanta or
Yeah.
okay. That hey, I agree with you on that one then. Okay.
Well,
But
that's
with
it.
uh,
I am very much a homebody. It's, when we had COVID and everyone had to be locked indoors and people absolutely hated it. I was one of those people that was kind of like, this is amazing. Why is everyone complaining about having not being able to go outside? So yeah, but I am literally very much a homebody. So
so you
yeah.
so you so if your parents want you to go somewhere, you actually gonna say no.
No, I will go. I
I
do,
mean that way. I mean
yeah.
when you're around crowds, you're like, we're not right.
Yeah, I do go out. So I get, people would ask me, oh, can you come to an event? Can you come do this? So I do get that quite a bit. And what I try and do, part of it is because of the way I work, I try and manage my energy. So because I work full time, and then as soon as I finish work, I'm either prepping for prayer, I'm prepping to preach, I'm prepping for something. I'm either doing my products online or, something. So yeah,
Okay, okay. That's why that's a lot of hats, a lot of working, and there's
that's
no
it.
absolutely no breaks coming on.
I've got to manage it. So that's why I try and it's literally I have to make sure that I'm kind of staying a bit focused and diligent in that particular way. But like I said, if I do travel, I prefer to go someplace where there is a sea. It helps me to recharge, and I find that more tranquil,
Hmm.
being in some place where there's kind of more seafront and and so forth. Yeah, I'm not the kind of person to say, oh, let's travel and go someplace where it's going to be some kind of big adventurous something. I'm more like I'd rather just relax a bit.
Okay, let's this. During I know you met our bishop in first our church, but in church wise, you ever you ever met anybody famous? Have you met anybody famous?
You mean outside of church?
Yeah.
So, let's see. Who have I met? I met many years ago Kanye West and John Legend. But I
Uh,
will say this, I'm one of those people, a famous person can probably be in the same room as me, and I would have no idea probably who they are. It's one of those that I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay. And I don't get really hyped over like, oh my gosh, it's this person. Yeah.
you ever get starstruck?
Sorry?
You ever get starstruck?
No, no,
No. Are you
no.
for seriously?
I don't actually. I do not. It's I'm I like to observe people.
Hmm.
And for me, it's at the end of the day, I always wonder, like, what's that person's thinking? What, people see a certain side of a person, but who are they underneath all of that? So those kind of things would run through my mind, like, and so instead of being like, oh my gosh, it's this person, it's like, are they happy? Who are they? Like, what are they all about? So that's the kind of stuff will run through my mind when I see someone like that. So I don't have time to be like, oh, I'll be more calm, like, are you okay? How are you doing? Tell me about yourself. That kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, do you ever run into anybody in the airport when you come into Atlanta?
No, not that I've noticed actually. I'm too focused on trying to find my suitcase and hoping that it's not lost.
So, so you ever have someone board the same plane as you?
Not that I've noticed. Not that I've noticed. No. No,
Hmm.
not that I've noticed.
Oh well, what was the last time? You said John Legend. What?
That was years ago.
How is he in person?
That was years before he
I
became
mean,
famous. That was way before he became famous. I thought he was just a groupie person. Um, I didn't know. And then when he came out, when I started, I was like, oh my gosh, that was, yeah. It's like he can sing. Uh, and that's why I say I'm that person that, yeah.
so you so if okay, so if John Legend, well, no, I mean it's not a secular question, but if you want to if someone, I say someone from your job,
Yeah.
and they say they want to give you a ticket to a John Legend concert, where you go?
Would I go? If someone
If
from
it,
my
they,
job was,
if it's a free ticket, if it was a free ticket, they don't. They've got
I,
a couple tickets.
would I take? Okay, there's two parts to that. Would I take the ticket? Yes.
Hmm.
Would I go to the concert? I'd probably give it to my sister. And if she wants me to go with her, then I would go. And it's not because it's secular, it's just because I'm like, it's not really, it, it's is
I,
it am I going to have a good time?
right.
Yes, I probably would enjoy it, but then what's going through my mind is, okay, how many hours in my day is this going to take away from something else that I actually had planned to do? So, it's that weighing of, so it's not that it's secular, because I would go to a secular concert depending on what the music is all about, because sometimes some of the lyrics to the songs and stuff is just a little bit much.
Hmm.
um, but like I said, I'm a big people watcher, and I'll probably go to a concert like that, and I'll be looking like, all these people don't go to church. All these people don't know Jesus. That's probably what goes. And then I'd probably look at the concert like, man, what if we had something like this that was a gospel concert? Look at this arena. Man, we can pack arenas like this. So that's probably what will go through my mind. So yeah. So I don't know. It just depends. Yeah.
But if it's like say the John Legend concert, and it says VIP
Yeah.
backstage, yes, no.
If I was going to a concert, I was going backstage, I don't mind going. And
Mm-hmm.
why is that? Because it's the thing about it is that we can't shut ourselves off from the world that is around us, because otherwise, how are we going to be a witness to people? And that you never know when, why your steps are ordered in that particular place.
Mm-hmm.
You just know when you get there who you are whilst you're there and how to conduct yourself. So yeah.
Do you, do you feel like you've been called as a celebrity sometimes when you coming from overseas?
Do I feel like a no,
A
not
celebrity?
necessarily. Not necessarily. You mean like in what context?
I mean,
What,
like
what,
when I mean every time we mention you when we come to church, you know, we get so excited. It's like we got a celebrity in the house. He always said you
oh
were a
dear,
celebrity in the
don't
house.
say that. No, not at all. No, I think the thing is because I have been at FCC, as you know, years ago. So we've seen each other, since I've been rocking up, showing up, and so forth. And I've gotten to know the faces at FCC. And I tell you, I come to Spirit and Truth now, and I'm like, I barely know anyone there, actually. I see a few people from FCC days, and I'm just like, oh, yes, a familiar face. And it's so nerve-wracking because I walk in and I'm just like, I don't know any of these people anymore. From a church that I went to, that, when I saw many faces, I was like, oh, yes, I
Hmm.
remember that person. I remember that person. So I think one of the benefits from me getting to meet, being introduced, that people are kind of like, let's make an effort to get to know this person because she's not from around here, and likelihood she doesn't know anyone. So because you could assume like, oh, this person, she knows everyone, it's fine. But people now go out of their way to make an introduction, and it just helps me to put some names to some faces, because I really don't know that many people now. So,
Well,
and all the
apparently,
people I work with are super busy doing other stuff, ministry stuff. So
since we got over 2,600 people members
yeah,
together between all four campuses, yes, there's a whole bunch of people you hardly know you don't know. Majority of the people you do know from FCC, from me, my mom,
exactly.
Pastor, and all them other people. But other people came from Detroit, California, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, and then we have someone from Brazil.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it's a new time. It's a new time and new place, and it's
Amazing.
so yeah, it's a lot. We, we get we get bigger we get bigger every time, every Sunday. We grow
Yeah,
every Sunday. Since we working on downstairs,
yeah,
and we working on downstairs, we try to get the fellowship hall. Hopefully, be before Thanksgiving. So we
yeah.
try to get so. But yeah, what the? I'm gonna get you out of here real quick. When you come to I'm asking this in UK, UK question. What kind of what kind of places do you have that the U.S. that the United States don't have?
What
That's
kind of what? Sorry.
what kind of places that the UK? What kind of let's say what kind of restaurants or
Mhm.
fast food places that you have that the USA don't have?
So I think so. The UK is more and more trying to bring in US brands, and I think so. The only thing about the UK is that everything here is has been around for years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lots and lots and lots of history, and the UK is very multicultural in the sense of, whilst the US is a melting pot, the UK is the size of Florida, so it is very intimately multicultural. What I mean by that is, communities blend together and not stay kind of segregated in their own kind of pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when I say it's quite old, so and lots of history. So, like, our buildings are a little bit more older and the architecture and so forth. So, a lot of people come here because they just love the architecture of it all. And then because we're a farming country as well, I always say this, and I always say when I say it, I don't know if people think I'm being rude in any particular way. Our food is a lot fresher because it's not it comes straight from the farm. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, the vegetables that we eat, they're not, you know, they're not traveling from a far distance, so they don't have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of chemicals added to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing as well with like our meats and everything. You know, it's coming like more so kind of like from that local butchers and those kind of things. So the food does taste a lot fresher. So I can know the difference when I come to the US because a lot of things you can taste, I don't want to say the chemicals, but I'll say that. And our food is less sweet, and it's also less salty as well. So because of the fact that we have the national health system, so what that basically means is that, like, if you need to go to the doctors, um, you don't pay for that. So it's almost, you know, you go to a general practitioner in your community area, you don't pay for it. It comes out of your monthly checks and stuff, your payroll. So because of the national health system, they very much regulate a lot of our foods. So so for example, Coca-Cola, you know, like the regular red Coca-Cola.
Right.
So that Coca-Cola, they in order for them to have it, you have to pay more for that Coca-Cola because it's there's a sugar tax
Mm-hmm.
on that Coke because it has a lot of sugar in it. So
Right.
if you want to pay a cheaper price, you buy the Coke Zero, for example. So so it's little things like that. They impose a sugar tax so to try and make sure people don't get diabetes and to deter people from having high sugar stuff. So it's little things like that.
What the? Uh, uh, do
It's
you
all
have
right.
a? Well, Erica, yeah. Do you have a? Let's say. Do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between the U.S. Food and the UK food when you go back and forth? You know the
Yeah,
difference.
I can taste. You can definitely taste the difference. Like I said, so because the U.S. is industrial, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of things have a longer shelf life. So it has chemicals to preserve it, and you can taste the difference. And like I said, a lot of the foods there are higher in sodium and sugar as well. So, like
So
I
you just know
personally,
you know the difference. Oh, you can actually taste the.
I
Okay,
can
okay.
actually
I got you.
taste the difference. Yeah.
So what?
So yeah.
But what the So when you do let me say what is your what do you have a favorite place in UK that you love to go to? That you just like want to sit down and like I want to do my work and stuff. Give a favorite place
Um.
besides
Well,
home. Look, besides home, I know that. Besides home,
right.
what other places do you? I know it. I know
I
you're
should have
home. I know
told
you
you
like
that.
home, but what other places besides home you like to like? I want to relax my mind.
I like being in central London.
Mm,
So I like some aspects of central London, and I say some aspects of it because I like one of the things I like is when I see a lot of the stores, I always say to myself, that's an idea that someone had and they pursued their dream. And
mm,
it inspires me to say, pursue your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't get so busy doing other stuff that you forget about the dreams that you have. So that's one of the things, that's one of the places that I would actually say that I go to, and I get inspired in central London. Yeah.
Okay, all right. As for that, I'm putting I want to thank you for coming on my channel. Even though this is your very first time on my channel, I forgot to do my intro because I was so happy to have you on my channel. Because for some reason, you were on my bucket list also. I want to have you on my channel last year because I don't know. I need to get somebody on my channel. So I had you on my bucket list last year. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but you were at FCC at the time. So I'm glad to have you on my channel. So you got any more? You got any final thoughts of the show or anything? And if you like to play, do a prayer out before
Yeah.
we leave us here.
So, like I said, at the start, thank you so much for having me. I remember when I came out of church and you asked me the question, you were like, "You want to be on my channel?" And I was like, yes.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reason I asked you because I said I know I have interviewed a lot of people on YouTube,
Mhm.
and I was like, I want to change it up a little bit. That's why I asked you, Tracy, Teresa, uh, Jerica, all of business owners to come on my channel so they know about their business and when people want have that same passion of they want to do their business or anything. That's why I want to make my interview channel grow. And
Mhm.
so that's why I want to put new faces on there. That's why I asked you the first. That's why I asked you the first time. I'm trying to make sure if I had I want to confirm it to you. I'm gonna have you on my channel. So I mean having this channel, it was my idea of I wanted to I wanted to start a channel to know to get to know people that that my audience don't know about you or anybody for that
Mhm.
matter. So that's why I started the interview channel in July of 2023. That's why I said I want to do an interview channel because I want to interview people that really don't know about you, like the real you. You know, I know they're behind the scenes and all that good stuff, but the real you, no. So that's why I wanted to ask a lot of people that want to know the real you. So that's why I asked you the first time before you left. So that's why I wasn't nervous or anything. That's look, that was my thing. I was like, I was, what can I do? I want to ask her, but I'm like, no, do it. So that's why I had to
Yeah.
stop you for a second. But yeah,
Awesome. Well, I my prayer is that as you continue to do this, and I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. And like you said, it gives people the opportunity to get to know people on a deeper level, so learn something unique about them. And why is that important? Because in a ever changing digital world, um, what we call social cohesion, we start to see that corroding slightly. So what this allows you to do is bring that human touch to allow people to get to know someone. And then when they see them in person, or even as they interact with them online, they have something on a deeper level to be able to connect with them on. So, and I just want to pray and encourage you that as you continue to do this, like you said, it's being bold, and they say closed mouths don't get fed, and taking that opportunity to ask someone and inviting them to be onto the channel. But I also pray that your feet will be guided into places that you will meet all sorts of different people and have the opportunity for them to come onto this particular platform to be able to be interviewed, and that others may be edified from their stories of how they started their business, how they overcame challenges in life, and any of those kind of nuggets of wisdom that they want to be able to share. So I just want to encourage you. I just want to encourage you to keep going and let this go across multiple airwaves. So it's just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Oh yeah, Eric was begging me to ask the question. Do you
Mhm.
know who this person is?
Bishop John Francis, is that who it is? Yes. So Bishop John Francis, he does have several churches in London. So he would be equivalent to our kind of mega pastor and very, very much an influential voice here in the UK. I have been to his church before, but I usually get to see him when he preaches because I live in Birmingham, which is 3 hours from London. So when he comes to Birmingham, he always there's a couple of churches there that he comes and preaches at. So very profound speaker. His whole family is anointed and gifted, and as well. So yes,
Have you met him in person?
I do. I have come across him in person, but I don't. I wouldn't say that I'm really close to him. Put
Okay,
it that
you're
way.
not
Yeah.
like
I
okay.
didn't pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, Bishop, how you doing?" No,
But in that case, go ahead and play us
if I
out.
don't have his
I'll see
number,
you
we're not that close. Right.
in that case. We'll finish that. Go ahead and play us out. And I'll see you next. I'll go ahead and drop you down after you play.
All right. Father, we thank you. We glorify you. We just want to thank you for this moment in time that you've allowed us to connect. We thank you for those who have been able to tune in on the live and those who are going to catch the replay. Father, every word that has been spoken, let it be edifying to someone to help them to grow, to activate that vision that is on the inside of them. We thank you for this channel, Lord God, and we just pray, Father, that you expand the reach like Jabez prayed, Lord, to expand the place of his territory. So we pray, God, that you expand the reach of this conversation, not only this particular session, but for all the talks that is hosted by Jarrett, Father. Let it go across the globe, Father. That those who tune in, let them just accidentally come into contact with it and let it just open up that they want to hear more. Because what is being shared, Lord, is a way for the gospel to be shared and be shared in a way to enlighten people and to help them to take things to the next level. So we thank you and we praise you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for coming. I love you. I'll see you soon. And be safe out there in UK. All right.
All right.
All
Thanks. You
right.
too. Take care. Bye.
I will.
Bye.
I will. Well, everybody, that's one of my good friend Jasmyn Allen from the UK. I'm excited to have her on my channel, and it was amazing to have her. So, I would love to keep this channel growing and all that good stuff. So, I want to thank, Erica for being the best supporter of my channel, all through my channels, and being a great mod and everything, and all my channels and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate for all y'all coming up here, showing some love and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so it was good. It was great. So, but yeah, tomorrow I my next interview will be on the 12th of November. So that'll be at 12, November 12th at 5 o'clock. That's Tuesday. So let's go ahead to tune in at 5 o'clock. I will have another special guest, and yeah, yeah. So I see y'all next. I see y'all on the 12th. All right, get us out. Peace.